Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I don't normally do webinars on Fridays. I'm used to saying Thursday. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great week. I am just going to make sure that I've got everyone on mute. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. Hello, hello. All right. So you are here if you are wanting to learn more about ways to find content for social media, for videos, whatever the case is. You want different ways to find content ideas and possibly how I write captions surrounding those content ideas. So I'm going to give you guys, I believe I have six plus two little extras on ways that you can find content for your social media, for your blogs, for your videos, anything and everything that you need content for. I'm going to help show you how to find it in various ways. And then I'm going to show you just a few little ways that you can create those captions surrounding those content ideas. So what I want from you guys is in the chat, if you will just let me know, like, what is your biggest struggle with social media or with if it is content, is that your biggest struggle? Like, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to social media content, consistency, actually doing it, right? Sitting down and recording videos or creating graphics or whatever the case is. Want to know what your biggest struggle is on social media? Let me know in the chat. Okay. And as we go through this, please feel free to drop any questions in the chat. I usually will stop and kind of come to the chat as we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me just move everything over. And if you've been with me for a hot minute when it comes to Zooms, you guys know it takes me a minute to get my Zoom, my screen shares over here because I get real confused. Okay. All right. So I've got my screen share. You should be able to see my finding content ideas screen. And then I just need to open up my chat and my participant window. Okay. All right. Awesome. So we've got in the chat, we've got consistency, getting started, coming up with content, consistency, videos. Okay, fantastic. Consistent content to build. Yep. All right, cool. Okay, so how do we find content ideas and crafting captions? And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Chelsea Gardner. You guys all should know who I am, but I am the owner of C. Gardner Marketing. I have a lot of years of experience in the marketing industry. I have an undergrad and a master's in marketing. I have co-authored an AI prompt handbook. I have a nonprofit organization called the Aiden Jared Foundation. If you guys want to go follow it, please feel free to support it. And then I am a wife, a mom. I love boba tea. If you guys follow me on social, you'll see me sharing a lot about boba tea and Chick-fil-A. If you want to follow me, my little QR code is up there. You can scan it. I always will follow you back. Right now, I'm actually sharing 30 days of content over on my Instagram. So every single day is a content idea, a content caption, and a content prompt for ChatGPT. So 30 days of that. And then next month for homeownership month, you will also be getting some content ideas. So highly recommend following me over there. My superpower is really to simplify social media and making sure that you really understand the nuances of it and making it not so complicated. Social media, I know when I talk to people, you overthink it, right? Or you're like, I just can't do it because I need all the shebang. I need the setup. I need to be able, like, I need to know exactly what I'm doing. And you truly don't. It can be so, so simple. And that's my superpower, is really just to simplify it for you. So when we are looking at our agenda today, we're going to talk about the 6 ways to find content ideas. Some will work for you and some won't, and that is okay. And then how do we take those content ideas and turn them into captions, video scripts, blogs, etc. So our first one, and I hope you have a pen and a paper, our first one is called answerthepublic.com. All right. So I'm going to actually take you through these different ways that I recommend finding content. So if you go to answerthepublic.com, you can actually come in here. I believe it's free. You don't have to pay for it. You get one search a day on the free version. If you create a free account, you get 3 searches per day. Okay. And then if you upgrade, you get more searches. I don't know what that is because I actually have a free account. I'm just not logged in. So you can get 1 to 3 searches every day for free. And the great thing is you can just download the search and save it into like a folder. So for example, you go to answerthepublic.com and you want to do a search for, let's say you're trying to find content on, any keyword: mortgage, home loans, VA loans, USDA loans, non-QM loans, anything and everything, right? So there is a slew of keywords that you could use to search. And again, if you're on the free account, you can do 3 searches every day, save all those searches, and you're going to have a ton of content. So let's just type in home loans, okay? And I'm going to do a search. Usually you want to keep it to 1 to 2, no more than like 3 words as a keyword, right? So you're not using a phrase. You're not saying, what is a USDA loan or anything like that. Answer the Public is going to give you that, okay? So they're going to give you some of those questions people are asking, and that's what you're going to use content around, okay? So I use the keyword home loans. I'm in the United States, so if you want to make sure that you're, choose the country that you're in, right? And then come over here and you are going to see 55 questions people are asking surrounding home loans. Okay, so I know it's a small circle. It might be hard for you guys to see, but you're going to kind of be able to look at, it's actually hard for me to see and I have to look sideways. Are home loans assumable? Are home loans compound interest? Are home loans secured or unsecured? Are home loans tax deductible? So there are 55 questions on this wheel, and you can see there are questions, can questions, so like can home loans be transferred to another person? There are how questions. How do home loans work? There are what questions. What home loans are 0 down? There are when questions. When home equity loans are a good idea. There are where questions, which questions, who questions, why questions, and will questions. Okay. So there's 55 ideas for you right there. And what you can do in here is just click on the save image. Oh, you do have to have your account, but it's free account. But you save the image, and what I do is I save this into just a folder on my desktop or into a Dropbox folder or a Google Drive, and I title it Home Loans, and this is my wheel for home loans, right? So tomorrow, if I want to do my search on mortgage, I'm going to get a slew of questions for mortgages, and then the next day I'm going to do USDA loans and then VA loans, right? So this is a great way, and these are things that people are searching for recently, right? So this is recent searches. You can see up here on Answer the Public, Google. These are Google searches. And so you can also kind of see in order to see all of it, but if you were to upgrade, and if this is of relevance to you, which it's not for me, but if it's relevant for you, you can also kind of see, if you're doing paid ads in Google, what those amounts for that type of search are. So you can kind of see like 1 penny, 364, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Mark, will you be sending a recording? Yes, I will definitely be sending a recording to this. And then what is the cost per click in the little circle? Yeah, so those are the cost per click. That is, again, because this is pulling from Google Ads, it will show you what the cost per click is, like 1 cent for like if you're paying for ads for this. So kind of ignore that part unless you are paying for Google Ads, and you can look into that, but you probably are, if you're running Google Ads, I recommend not doing it yourself, hiring out. So anyways, this just gives you some of the content ideas. And then I'm following and not finding this chart. So you want to make sure that when you're on Answer the Public, you key in the search, and then this chart is under wheels, but you also can choose, like you might see list, you might see tables. It's all the same questions. It's just laid out differently. So there's different ways to look at it. The wheel is the easiest to download as an image, but you also can look at it as a list. So here's all those same questions, the same things that are in that wheel, and here's a table with all the questions as well. So different ways to look at it. The wheel is able to be downloaded a lot easier. Okay, so that's your first one. All right, so that's one way to find content. Second way is going into what is called facebook.com/ads/library. Okay, so facebook.com/ads/library. In Facebook, if you run paid Facebook ads, you can find anyone running paid ads, what their ads are in the ad library. This is not necessarily for you to go use to create ads, but it will give you an idea for content of maybe what some people are paying for in the ad space to give you content ideas for your social media. Okay, does that make sense to you? You don't necessarily have to come here just because, oh, I'm running Facebook ads, let me see what other people are doing. You absolutely can. You can spy on everyone else. But this is a good way to find some ideas of what people are actually paying for when they're running paid ads. So for example, if you are in the mortgage space or the realtor space, you are always going to be in the housing ad category. So you can absolutely come in here and just choose the ad category for housing. And then in here, you can just search for like a recent search, mortgage, same thing as Answer the Public, mortgage, home loans, USDA, VA loans, non-QM, whatever you specialize in, you can come in here and do a search, and then you're going to see what other companies and what other people are running ads for. Okay, so you can kind of come in here and you can see like SoFi is running in bunch of ads on, this is like their caption here, house hunting is tough, picking the right mortgage lender, blah 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 blah. So you can kind of scroll through, I mean, this is going to give you hundreds and hundreds. If I keep scrolling, it's just going to keep loading. It'll give you hundreds of ideas. Now, I know someone is going to ask if you can see how the ad is performing, and you cannot. But you can just see the ad details surrounding the ad itself. So again, where they're running it, you can see what the caption is, you can see the graphic, all of that kind of stuff. So I just deleted that question. Yeah, so I always get it. People are like, oh, can I see how it's performing? I wish, because this would make my life way easier when it comes to creating ad content by like tenfold. But it doesn't. It just tells you where they're running it, when they started running it, if it's currently still active or not. And then if the ad has multiple versions of it, which means like they have different pictures and stuff like that. So this is just a really great tool for, and you can also see more information on the actual like advertiser. So if you kind of want to look at that too. Order the date, assume it's working. Yeah, so if it's active, everything at the top, even if it's been running since, I don't know, like January, all the ones that are up top, these are all going to be launched May, but as I scroll, it'll kind of launched April, right? But these ones, they're still active. So they're still running. So yep. Yeah, Steve, that's a good point. So you may be able to get an idea of how well it's running based on how well it's doing based on how long they have it running. Or they could just have forgotten that it's running. I have that too. Or they don't really they just don't change it out frequently. But that is a good point. If it's been running for a long time, you may be able to assume that it's performing fairly well. And you can filter these searches as well by like date and location, media type, if you want to just kind of see the images, things like that. So you can filter these statuses. You can look at just certain dates of what has been running. You can make sure that you're only looking at active ads, or if you want to do active and inactive, you can do either one of those. But this is just a really great tool to come in here and like literally just keep going back and forth on various terms to see what people are actually paying to run ads for. Okay, so this person, if Flavio is on here, they're running an ad about downsizing your dream home, or if you're ready for a bigger backyard. Like, so this might give you some good ideas for content. Talk about, bigger backyards, talk about various things like that. You can also, if you specialize in certain types of loans, again, USDA, VA, non-QM, whatever, you can also come in here and see what people are paying to run on that, right? So USDA loans, no money down, that kind of stuff. All right. Yeah, yep, perfect. So those searches come in here and you can also search for specific people, companies, things like that. So if you want to see if a certain company is running ads, you typically can key in their name and they'll pull up as well. So like I think what was SoFi was one of the ones that we saw. So, oh, maybe not housing. Oh yeah, there we go. So now they pulled up. Here we are. So no. So Diane, this is your second one. So Answer the Public was first, and then this is this is facebook.com/ads/library. So I'm giving you 6 different ways to find content. So the first one was Answer the Public, yep, and then the ads library. So that is a really great tool. Again, go in, see what people are actually paying for, and then kind of go from there. Okay. And then the next way to find content, y'all, is a Google search. So if you come into Google and you type in, let's say, USDA home loans Tampa, right? Because I'm in Tampa, so you can do it based on your city. Obviously, you're going to get ads, you're going to get, whatever pops up, maybe other companies, things like that. But what you are also going to get is this part here. People also ask, okay? So this is going to look different for every single one of you because you're not in Tampa, right? So the questions that people are asking in this section are going to be geared more towards your actual location, okay? So for example, how do you qualify for a USDA loan in Florida? That is the top question right here in Google. What is the income limit? What cities in Florida are USDA approved? Is it easier to get FHA or USDA? And then guess what, guys? If I actually click this down arrow, now I get even more questions that drop down. And then I just keep clicking these down arrows and more questions load and more questions load, right? So I can just keep going and I'm getting a gazillion questions, okay? So this is a lot more geared towards you in your specific area. So again, your questions aren't going to be the exact same as mine that I just keyed in. So even if I just did USDA home loans, it is going to typically pull in my vicinity. I'm technically a little north of Tampa, but they're going to pull in my vicinity because I'm doing a Google search in my area, okay? Also, you can kind of see when I type in USDA home loans, do you see like there's other things that pop up? So USD, like some isn't going to be relevant. Georgia, South Carolina, right? But I just typed in Tampa. But I also will see USDA home loan eligibility, right? So that would be something that I would click on and do a search for and see what other questions pop up. This one's very specific. USDA loan in Hawaii. So if I have any Hawaiians here, Hawaiians, that's a good one. So make sure that you're coming in. Google is a very easy and robust way. And y'all, these are searches like real-time searches. So this isn't going back to last year and what people are searching for last year. This is what people are actually keying in recently on Google and what is very being searched for quite frequently on Google. Okay, so does that make sense? Is that helpful in terms of the Google searching and kind of making it more tailored to where you specifically are located? So again, all of these content places, so Answer the Public, Facebook ads, Google, you can use the same search terms, right? The same keywords. So USDA loans, home loans, VA loans. I keep saying the same thing. So first time home buyers, right? Whatever you're known for. And you can keep using those same search terms in these various platforms. And if you remember at the very beginning, I said, you may be drawn more to one than another, right? So I'm giving you a ton of different ideas. That doesn't mean you have to use all of them, right? So if you go to Google and you're like, oh, I love this. This is great, but I cannot figure out Answer the Public. Don't use it, right? These are just tools to help you find content, and everyone's going to pull something a little different. Someone else may absolutely love the ad library and absolutely hate finding stuff on Google. So just kind of keep that in mind. This isn't where you need to make sure that you're using all of these platforms. Find one that really works well for you and then start using it. Okay, so that's your Google search. Now, if you have, this one is where you may or may not have access to, okay? I have some people that have access to Keyword Planner. I have some people that do not. Typically, if you don't have a Google My Business page, you probably don't have access to a Keyword Planner. You can come in to just a Google, like to Google, and type in Google Keyword Planner right here, okay? And you can click on Find Your Campaign Keywords with Keyword Planner. Make sure it is a Google one, not like an ad for one. Make sure it's the Google one. And if you have access to Keyword Planner, you will be able to see something like this. Choose keywords, go to Keyword Planner, and then you're going to be taken to an area basically where if you were running Google Ads, okay? Now, we're not running Google Ads. I'm not showing you how to run Google Ads, but I'm going to show you how to find keywords that are being used in Google and how to find their relevancy, okay? So if I am in Google Keywords and I go into Discover New Keywords, I can do the same thing here, keying in certain keywords. So if I type in mortgage Tampa, right? And you can type in multiple at a time, but let me just key in one. I'm going to type in, click get results. It is going to show me, if you guys can see this, I know it's a little small and I don't know how to zoom in. It's going to show me basically how many searches over the month on average various key terms are being searched for. Okay, are you guys still with me? Yes. Hopefully I'm not losing you. So this will show you how key terms are being searched. So for example, mortgages in Tampa gets about 100 to 1,000. It's a very broad range over here on Google key terms or keywords, Keyword Planner, geez Louise. But you can see, like, if I wanted to talk about reverse mortgages in Tampa, that doesn't have a lot of hits, right? That's like 10 to 100. So you can kind of look at some of these keywords and see, okay, like I was going to talk about, you know, I was going to talk about how I'm the best mortgage broker, right? But no one's really searching for that. Okay, so this kind of shows you maybe some ways that you can search. Now, I will tell you though that in this competition section, okay, so this means, like, obviously if someone else is using it, bidding on it, paying for it on Google, competition on the low end, right? So reverse mortgages, while the average monthly search is not high, if you specialize in reverse mortgages in Tampa, that competition is very low. That means that you may be able to pull very easily if you do content around reverse mortgages for Tampa, because there's not that much competition. So while the searches are low, that's still 10 to possibly up to 100 people that you may be found because there's not many other people doing it. So this would be a really good YouTube video to talk about how to do reverse mortgages and what it takes to do reverse mortgages in Tampa, right? You want to make sure you're using these key terms, reverse mortgage in Tampa or Tampa reverse mortgage, in your YouTube videos and in your YouTube titles. Okay, does that make sense? So that's how you can find content and maybe target some of these people that, yeah, the searches aren't that high, but the competition is really low. Okay, people aren't really doing a lot about, you know, reverse mortgages in Tampa, or they're not really talking about mortgage companies in Tampa. So kind of think about that when you're looking at these terms. You can also come up here and just do other searches. So VA home loans, Tampa, right? So get results. And so I can kind of see, okay, again, not a lot of searches, but the competition is really low. So if I am a VA home loan expert and I do video content and provide, you know, social media content around VA home loans for Tampa, I might be able to capture a lot of this because no one else is really doing it much. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Do I need to access from my Google business page? Yeah, so some people are going to have access to this or not. You're going to have to just go to Google, key in Google Keyword Planner, and then click on this one here, ads.google.com. And then they're like tools, keyword planner, and follow the prompts it gives you to see if you can set it up. Some people get access to it and some don't through your Google business page. So like it'll pull you here if you can. So this is the actual, let me copy this URL. So this is the URL for it. And then you can go to Keyword Planner, or you may need to sign in, or you may need to set up. Okay, so that's how that one works. All right, so that's your Google Keyword Planner. Now, if you don't have access to Keyword Planner, SEMrush is also a platform. They have a free platform. This is very similar to Google Keyword Planner, but it looks a lot more complicated than it is. But you can come in here free. You don't have to pay for it. You just get a minimal amount of searches, and it won't give you everything. So like you see, I only have like the top 10 or top 15 here. So it won't give me everything if I'm not paying for it. But essentially, this is the exact same thing. It shows me volume for searches, what the cost per click is. So again, if people are running ads. So this just helps, again, with some content ideas. Okay. All right. Now, let me go back here. So we've got our Google search, we've got our Google Keyword Planner or SEMrush. So again, if you don't have Keyword Planner, try SEMrush. It's just a little bit more complicated in the SEMrush platform than it is in the Google Keyword Planner. Now, my other question for you guys before I move to the next one, how many of you guys do currently or would like to do YouTube content, YouTube videos, YouTube content, videos in general? Yes, no, maybe so. And this isn't if you're currently, just would like to, possibly, one day. Okay. All right. So most yeses, a few not interested. I get it. Okay. So slowly but surely. All right. So another way that you can find content is through TubeBuddy. Okay. So if you want to do YouTube content, and this is, I'm not going to dig too far into it because if you guys aren't there, I don't want to overwhelm you with too much. But if you want to do YouTube content, you can absolutely look into TubeBuddy. It's $3 per month for TubeBuddy. It's a little plugin on your YouTube channel when you have a YouTube channel, and it will help you again with keywords. So you have this, like if I go into my TubeBuddy, and again, you probably will not have this if you haven't paid for it. Keyword Explorer, and I can come in here and type in VA home loans in my Keyword Explorer, and then I can see what's trending on YouTube. Okay, so if you want to do video content for YouTube, I can see what is trending in videos on YouTube. VA home loans with bad credit, VA home loans explained, VA home loans 2024, right? VA home loans are unfairly good, right? So I can kind of see what some of the content that is being searched for in YouTube in TubeBuddy. Okay, so if you want to eventually do YouTube videos and you want to do video content, I highly recommend this platform. Like I said, I'm not going to dive too far into it if you're not there. I don't want to overwhelm you, but this is a great platform. And then once you find your keyword, the great thing with TubeBuddy is it then helps you with your search engine. So what I hear a lot of times when people do YouTube videos is, I'm doing the videos. One, you need to be very consistent on YouTube, but I'm doing the videos, I'm not getting much. You have to have a very strong SEO on YouTube. And so if you are building out video content, you want it to work for you, right? If you're going to take the time to do videos, you're going to take the time to go find your keywords, what video content's going to do well for you, you want to make sure that you're building out your description and everything else for search engine optimization on YouTube. And so it does all of that for you in TubeBuddy. So that's another way. If you are a YouTuber, if you plan on being a YouTuber or want to be a YouTuber, that is a gold mine for content. Okay. I'm not going to dig into it if you guys aren't currently on YouTube or you are want to be YouTube, but that's what I recommend. $3 a month. All right. So that is TubeBuddy. Yeah, TubeBuddy. Yeah, you have it right, Mark. TubeBuddy. Yep, exactly. And then ChatGPT. So I'm going to dive into ChatGPT here in just a second. I'm going to skip over it right now. The other two ways that you guys can find content, easy. Ask your followers, right? What questions do you have around the mortgage process? If you're a realtor, what questions do you have for a loan officer that, maybe your clients have? And then constantly be writing down, whether it be, I have my phone right here, but whether it be in like the note section on your phone, or you carry around a little like notepad, whatever the case may be, write down questions that you receive from your realtors and your clients. Y'all, that isn't a very easy way. So as you're getting calls coming in, even if it sounds like to you, you're like, wow, this is like the not dumb question. No one has a dumb question, but wow, this is a really easy question. Or I think it's only specific to Chelsea when she called. No, I guarantee 50 other people, 100 other people have that same question. So write down questions that you receive, whether it be through email, through phone, anything like that, that you get from realtors and clients, and then make content around it. Okay, so if you get a client that calls and they're like, hey, Jeff, I need to know what I'm supposed to bring to closing tomorrow. Bam, content idea. Here's what you need to bring to closing. Okay, and you can create a video, a reel, a graphic, or whatever around what you need to bring to closing. Write it all down. Easy ways. Okay. Lastly is going to be ChatGPT. Okay, so before I dive into content on ChatGPT and dive into caption writing, do you guys have any questions around what I've currently covered up to now? I want to take a beat. I feel like I've been just spewing at you. I hope this has been helpful so far. Okay. No questions. Everyone's caught up. All right. Okay. So ChatGPT, if you guys have the free version or the paid version, the free version, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if it is up to date or not, because I have been on the paid version for so long. So I would need to look into that for you guys. I probably should have done that before. But I don't know if it's up to date. But the paid version is. So if you are on the paid version of ChatGPT, you can find and search for like real time stuff. So in ChatGPT, you can easily prompt and ask it, what's trending in the mortgage industry? What are some questions that, realtors have been searching for in, the loan officer space? You can absolutely prompt ChatGPT to do any of that. Okay. Now, when you are prompting it, I would do a couple of different things. One, I would ask it for your specific area, right? So what are some trending things in the mortgage sector in Tampa Bay or in the state of Florida? Or what are people searching for in Florida when it comes to home loans? Or what are some things that people ask frequently when it comes to VA home loans in Florida, right? I would try and make it specific to you. If you are licensed in all 50 states, then if you're trying to target one spot or over the other, that's cool. Do one state. If not, then you can do it more broad. But I would try and tailor it to where you're located if you can. If, like I said, if you're licensed everywhere in multiple states, might be a little bit harder, but try and do it tailored to you. Then also ask it broadly. Hey, same question, but broad, and see what kind of differences you get, if any, right? There may not be a ton, but if any that you get, that it responds. And then use those ideas, okay? So ChatGPT can absolutely give you a ton of content ideas. And I know for some people, ChatGPT can be very overwhelming, or just very like, I get it. And so that's why I wanted to show you a ton of different ways to find content before ChatGPT. Okay, so that's why there's all the other platforms, Answer the Public and Ads Library and TubeBuddy and keyword search and all of those before ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is going to be easy and quick. Okay. All right. So when you are using ChatGPT for captions, so that's all of your content ideas. So let me go back real quick. So you've got answerthepublic.com. You have facebook.com/ads/library. You have just plain old Google search. You've got Google Keyword Planner or possibly SEMrush, depending. Video content, video ideas, things like that. You're going to look at TubeBuddy. All right. So answer the public free, 1 search, up to 3 searches. Facebook Ads Library free. Google search free. Google Keyword Planner free. I think you need a Google My Business page. SEMrush, there are free options, but there's also paid options. TubeBuddy, I do the minimum $3 a month. ChatGPT, there is a free version. The paid version is $20 per month. Okay. Asking your followers, questions received, both free. All right. So those are your options that I use in my business all of the time. Now, let's talk about captions. I highly encourage if you're not a content writer, you're not a copywriter, right? You're going to get an idea from, let's say you're like, I really love this answer the public section. I love this. Okay. So then maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to answer the questions. Are home loans tax deductible? So I'm going to copy this question. And then, and you guys are probably like, I don't know the answer to that, y'all. Y'all are probably like screaming at me. So we're going to come in here and we're going to then ask ChatGPT, we're going to prompt it. Can you write a social media caption? Actually, we're going to do an engaging social media caption for my clients as a mortgage professional. Okay, so I'm doing this as a mortgage professional. If you have sat through one of my ChatGPT workshops, you may already have your ChatGPT set up for you. So you may not even have to prompt it to say mortgage professional or anything like that. And then I'm going to just paste our home loans tax deductible. I'm going to enter. It's going to work its magic. It'll take 30 seconds to write an entire caption out for me. So many home loan expenses, including mortgage interest and property taxes, can be tax deductible, potentially saving you thousands. Is that an accurate statement? Yes. Yes to my mortgage friends? No. Yes. Where are my people? Are you guys still with me? Where are you guys at? Yes, no, maybe. So is that accurate? Yes. Okay. All right. Jeff's with me. Good job, Jeff. All right. Okay. So this is not an accountant. Oh, well, okay. I gotcha. All right. Maybe I need to ask my accountant friends. Okay. So this is now, here's the kicker. You're probably like, okay, well, I wouldn't really say all of that. And I definitely wouldn't use 16 emojis. I know, Diane, I do talk fast. I try to get so much in an hour, but that's why I always have the recording for you. And just so you guys know, if I ever do workshops, my workshops, I do step by step with you. So it's much different than my webinars. My webinars, I try to give you as much as I can. And then my workshops are the step by step tutorials of everything. So with this, you may be like, I wouldn't say, some of the wording, or maybe I wouldn't add, 8 emojis into my content. So you can absolutely then re-prompt ChatGPT to kind of change it up a little bit. Please use less emojis, but exact same verbiage. Okay. So you can start prompting ChatGPT to maybe reword it a little bit, or I actually would make sure that the ways that you can use it are check marks. So I would check mark emojis in front of property taxes and, tax deductible, whatever, home loan expenses, whatever the case is. You can start prompting it. So you can come in here, pull information from any source that you like to use, your Answer the Public, your ads library, your TubeBuddy, whatever, come into ChatGPT and then ask it to help you create a caption. You can also then be like, okay, well, this is a social media caption, but for all my friends that really want to do video content, right? Can you write a script around this topic for a video that is under 3 minutes? Okay. So I can also have it help me craft a script. It also loves to tell you how you should look, right? So friendly, welcome gesture, opening shot, transition to a more focused shot. And then here's your graphic overlay. So it tells you all of that fun stuff, but really you can just look at where it's telling you the host. You can prompt it to not give you this stuff as well, but for the most part, you can talk about where the host is and say this right here, right? So when you buy a home, the IRS allows you to deduct a certain amount, first up, the big one, right? So you can kind of walk through this, and now it's giving you a 3-minute long video. Now, if you're like me, right? So like Diane says, I talk fast. So you can also tell ChatGPT that you are a fast talker, or that you, like, if you want to count how many words you say in a minute, you can tell it, I speak 50 words a minute, and then it will actually make a 3-minute long video around how fast you talk, right? So this might not be 3 minutes for me. I can probably read this script in like 1 minute. So if that's the case, then I would tell ChatGPT, I talk fast, or 50 words in 1 minute, please slow it down, please add more context around it, something like that. It can absolutely do that. You can then also have it write you a blog post, right? So you can take any of this content, bring it over into ChatGPT, and have it write out content for you. Steve, yeah, so this is like 3 minutes is going to be like your YouTube videos. If you want to do under 90 seconds, typically your video content for most platforms is 90 seconds. TikTok, though, is 3 minutes. Instagram is testing 5-minute long videos. So some people do have access to 5-minute long videos over on Instagram, or in Reels. You can actually do longer form video content over on Instagram, but it's just people's attention span is very, very not a lot, not a lot. So yeah, so you can definitely say, hey, can you script a video for me for 30 seconds? And then it will also do that too. So yeah, but that's how I would use the content coming up with caption ideas, build it out into ChatGPT. You can build an entire content calendar by pulling, right? So, I mean, gosh, y'all, this just gave me 55 questions to answer just on home loans. So you can easily build out a content calendar for the next 30 days just on home loans, right? And then on VA loans and USDA loans and whatever the case may be. So I hope this was helpful. Oh, Sam, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So they made a donation to my foundation. So my website's there. I really appreciate it, Sam. So if you guys have questions, I'm wrapping up a bit early, so we can do some Q&As. I also am doing a content challenge next week and for the month of June in my Simplified Social Hub. So I know some of you guys on the call are in the Simplified Social Hub. It's $67 a month if you're interested in joining. You will actually be getting a content guide next week. So we're going to do the content challenge. You're going to get a content guide with 90 days of content ideas and captions that you can use. June is National Homeownership Month, so this is your time to shine. So you're gonna get 30 days of homeownership posts to use over in the Simplified Social Hub. You also get access to me every Thursday. I do weekly Q&A calls live, just like this call. So you'll have access to me every week if you have questions on anything social media related. You will also get access to all paid workshops that I run coming up. And then obviously any social media questions are answered in the group as well as accountability. So if you're interested in joining, that is $67 a month. You can scan this beautiful QR code that I have in this presentation for you guys. I'll make it a little bit larger. Okay. All right. So Diane, do you post every day? So funny you asked that. I have been posting every single day over on my Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, all of my accounts. I schedule my content through a system called Metrical for all of my accounts. And I post right now, I actually have been posting twice a day on my accounts. I am doing some testing to see post-wise. However, I usually recommend to my clients and to anyone who is kind of trying to be consistent to post 3 times a week on your platforms. posting every day can get very overwhelming and it can become a lot of content creation. You guys aren't full-time creators, so I get it, right? Like posting every day is going to be a lot. So I highly recommend trying to be consistent with 3 days a week, two at the very minimum if you can. All right, and then changing it up. So Instagram specifically, right, has released, like, a lot of people are like, oh, video content has been like the king, right, for many years, but Instagram now has gone through a algorithm change and they are prioritizing all content. So reels, carousel posts, carousels are like the things that you can swipe through with like multiple images, and then just regular, just one image. So you don't even have to stress now too much on, oh, I got to constantly be putting out video content, because Instagram has now kind of adjusted the algorithm a little bit to be more even through the content. You may find that your followers engage or that you get more reach by a certain, like maybe it is carousels, maybe it is videos. And I'm actually testing that out on my stuff right now. So I'll kind of report back to you on that. But I don't recommend posting every day if you're not a content creator. It becomes very overwhelming. So, okay. What other questions do you guys have for me that I can help with? And feel free to unmute if you would like, or you can drop it in the chat. Was this helpful? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I hope this was helpful. Okay, yay, I see some thumbs up. A marketing sniper. I like that. That's what I'm gonna start calling myself. I'm a marketing sniper. Okay. Do you have content calendar to access? Yes, Mark. So you will have access because you're in the simplified hub. So there is a content calendar that I'm going to be dropping next week. So stay tuned for that. And then does this apply to Facebook groups we create as well? So yeah, so in terms of Facebook groups, so if you have a Facebook group, yes, I still recommend posting 2 to 3 times per week in Facebook groups. Facebook pages, like if you have a business page, just posting the same content across your platforms is completely fine to do on a business page, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn. If you are specifically building a Facebook group for something very niche, so like if you have a Facebook group for realtors in your area, that content is probably going to look a little different in the group than it is on your business page and on your other social platforms, because why would they join the group and not follow you type thing. So same in terms of posting, but the posting is going to look different in those. Does that make sense, Wayne? Okay. Yay. All right. All right, guys. Well, please feel free. Again, if you want to join the hub, here is the QR code. I will be sending this replay out the end of today, hopefully. If you don't see it by the end of today, it will be out first thing tomorrow. I am going to upload it into YouTube and send the link that way for you guys to access it. And then if you want any free resources, that is also, you can go to chelseagardner.com/resources. I have several downloadable guides. I have content ideas in there as well. So you can absolutely download any free resources that I have all on that page. So I hope this was helpful, and please feel free, reach out, let me know if there is a webinar or a content idea or topic, I guess, that you want me to cover coming up, because I am working on June and July content webinars. So I love doing these free webinars and giving as much of my sniper knowledge that I can get. So, all right, guys, I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy Memorial Day. If I have any veterans or military people on here, thank you so much for your service. I will see you guys next time.